Welcome back to my channel, everybody, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at one of the prime Punisher builds. Now, the Hawk Crusher is probably one of the most deadliest builds for the Crusher in the game, simply because of what the developers call area damage. I have called suck damage. If you don't know what suck damage is, it's basically a little line that touches you at the end of the robot. If you see that on my screen, it looks like that. It's a very deadly setup, so if you want, you can pause the video to look at the Hawk stats and the Crusher stats. Feel free to do so. But this setup can pierce through anything in the game, mobile shields, dome shields of the power-ups, and the Bazo shields, which Rusty and Alpha use, and the Prime energy shields. So let's get on with the video and I'll show you. Okay, so game 1 we have landed on Factory Map, and this is Team Deathmatch. So right into it, I'm just going to explain the Crusher Hawk and what are the disadvantages and what are the advantages of it. So one advantage of the Hawk is that it's able to one-shot everything in the game, but the downside is it has to be extremely, well, the player has to be extremely accurate. Now, one thing, key difference here, I'm facing AI. Now, it'll be way different when I face a human. I won't be able to one-shot a human. Reason 1, because humans don't stand still. They don't stand still. A human's gonna be able to see the Hawks coming and dodge them. That's another downside about the Hawks, is you cannot hit somebody at long range with the Hawk, because the Hawks are incredibly slow. So by the time you fire, the human or enemy player is going to notice that the Hawks are flying right. I mean, it's really obvious. I mean, you see these big 4 giant black hole balls flying at you. So it's like, oh, I need to dodge those. And speed bots such as the Alphas, or even the Rex, or even the Reaper and the Alden, they can dodge these things like easy peasy, which is another reason why this weapon needs to be able to do one-shot kills, because you need to be able to take them out quickly. And that's the purpose of this robot. It's to help with taking out primes quickly. And you're not going to one-shot a Reaper with this setup. A Reaper has like 300k plus health. That's a lot of health for a Reaper. So you're not going to one-shot a Reaper. It's especially when it's a human Reaper too, because they have the potential to dodge. So you need to be able to do this type of damage in order to, at least let them know that you're here. Now, the nice thing about this weapon as well, the plus side, is that it doesn't matter whether you have a physical shield. For example, see? Didn't even matter. The shield didn't even help him. Now there's this guy down here with his physical shield. Gonna go ahead and fire at him. Of course, cheap, bam, right there. It didn't even matter if you have a shield. I damaged his shield, but I ripped right through it. Now I'm going to do it again. See? It don't matter whether you have a physical shield or a mobile shield of one of the power-ups, or even the Rusty shield or Bazo shield that the Alpha uses. It's still going to be able to touch you. Now, it might not do as much damage, because the shields do help you block most of the damage, so you won't receive the full hit from the Hawk, but you'll receive at least 30k. So here's another thing that I want to point out. You see how fast I went down with the Crusher Axle? Another counter to the Hawk. The Axle is way more accurate than the Crusher Hawk, and has a lot more firepower. Well, not as much firepower as the Hawk, but it hits you like a semi-truck when it hits you. And not to mention, it also has area damage, and that's one of the reasons I want to mention too, is that the Hawk has an area damage, or what I like to call suck damage, and that helps against robots such as the Alden or any type of speed bot, is the suck damage. Granted that they can dodge, but they can still get a slight nick from the suck damage, because the suck damage has a range about, I think, 20 meters is how much it can reach you, about 20 meters, which is pretty good for a energy weapon. Now, it may not be the most accurate energy weapon, but it does a pretty good nick of suck damage, like 30k. So that's pretty decent if you think about it. Now, one thing I also want to point out, that even though that the Crusher has no resistance, you need to be very accurate with your shots. So one thing you can do is the Hawk, you can get close. So let's see what we did here. 2.8 million. Now if you notice closely, once I hit the dome shield, it damaged him a little bit. You saw that, right? The little yellow, that was actually me when he was up close against the dome wall. Now he's got the mobile shield, and you see I hit him with Hawks and it damaged him, but it didn't do as much. Now of course, when there's a group of Crusher Hawks hitting you with that shield, it's gonna do some pretty heavy damage to you. Now this here is a bug. You saw that it went right and touched him, but it didn't do anything to him. That's a type of suck damage bug. It does that when you face real players. But it doesn't matter whether you have a Bazo shield or even the mobile shield or even the dome shield, which you use from power-ups. The Hawk is still going to touch you. Now, see, he's going to come around with a prime, and this is Reaper. See, I hit him and I took him down like to half. See, that's another thing. You have to be accurate, and it didn't one-shot the Reaper, so I think it's perfectly balanced. Now this is take 2 with the Alden. I shoot, there goes his shield, and I damaged him a little bit. Now he's coming in with a mobile shield. That's still not going to help him. It's going to help him a little bit, but not much. See, I damaged him a little. He's dropping health. Now I'm going to hit him again. Look, another guy hit him, and see, we lowered him down almost below half health. Now that his shield's gone, he's going to die. There he goes. One thing about Hawks, you cannot dodge them close.